I'm Paul Sims.
And I'm Dave Foley. I play Dave in almost one half the episodes.
I'm not buying it. I'm Stephen Root, but I'm here anyway.
I'm Joe Furey. I'm here too.
This opening, I remember, was one of my favorite
well, let's talk over
jokes.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it.
Everyone's probably already watched it.
Yeah, who
Which episode are we watching
cares?
here?
This is the smoking episode, which
the only one that people remember.
Yeah, this one was, for some reason, phenomenally popular and still is, in a sense, on the internet. And I think also probably when the show was actually on NBC, for some reason this one got aired more than any other show.
Yeah, but this was like rerun like 4 times that season.
This was very, very early. And
look at all
look
hair.
at
This is like
Vicky's
literally
ringlets.
Wasn't this literally like the second episode?
This was the
second or third.
I think it was the third
There was
episode.
the pilot, then there was the desk episode.
Really?
And then I think this one.
Yeah.
And then Rat episode was 4th.
I don't know. Maybe this
That
was
was
fourth.
that was somewhere.
But this was very early on, and
Okay.
you can see it was early on with all the extras
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
background.
And that my suit jacket doesn't fit.
And Andy has like a dickie.
See,
on
there's
or
that
something.
big pole again. It's
Yeah.
right in the middle
Yeah.
of the set.
See, look at us using it.
Huge.
The pole was still there.
Well,
Wow.
that pole, as I recall,
Create a
plays a
reality.
big part in this, doesn't it? At some point, like in
Yes.
terms of camera stuff, like had that. It was like
This is
something
also
weird
this
with
is
it.
also I think one of the first episodes where the whole central theme of it was Dave versus Bill.
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
that was always sort of in the show from the start, but this was a definite two-man showdown.
Yes. And it was partially inspired by my actual coffee intake.
That's true.
because you had it you wouldn't work without coffee.
Yeah.
and the fact that everybody smoked.
Yeah.
Every person on the staff smoked.
Well,
Except
it's true.
for Phil didn't smoke.
Except for me.
Phil had just quit smoking when this script appeared.
Of course.
So he was all a little worried about,
Backsliding.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Well, only 2 or 3 of the cast members smoked. The writing staff, just about, I think,
Almost
80%
all
of them
smoked.
did.
Bill, that's not how it's supposed to work. Now just put that out.
Is that decaf?
Here's a little trivia note.
Yes.
Of the few awards that the show ever won, one of them was a Prism Award for accurate depiction of alcohol and tobacco abuse on a television show from some nonprofit, anti-drug abuse foundation.
Why were they at the shootings
But
during the last scene of every show?
But it was not for this episode that we won. It was for one later when someone started chewing tobacco. Who was that? There was one of the
Oh,
characters.
right.
Really?
Who did? Who was? It's
must
probably
have been
Phil.
Phil.
I'm sure it's Phil. That sounds like a Phil story if there ever was one. There's the,
I like it watching these without the commercials.
And look
It's
how
good.
old that computer is. It has a trackball.
wow.
This is before Steve Jobs came back to Apple computers and
This really is like a historical document.
is.
revitalized
Very, very old things.
You know, at this
Fonzie.
Fonzie reference.
At this point in the series, doing the first 6 episodes, it was just 4 writers. It was me, Brad Isaacs, Josh Lieb, and Joe Furey. And the interesting thing about this episode is that somehow Joe's name got left off the credits.
Yeah.
You didn't mind, did you,
Thanks
Joe?
very much.
It doesn't
No.
matter.
See, now here's...
See,
Yeah.
you get to hold more again.
The
That's
only episode
always
anybody
good.
knows of the show. and
Yeah.
My name is not on it. What was it? Was it a legal reason or what the hell was it?
It was something. Someone gave me some bad information about how many names you were allowed to put on a
Yeah.
script.
And how many of them could be Joe Fury?
That's right. And then later on, there were scripts with 29 names on them.
True. That suit seems extraordinarily blue to me.
It is very blue. As may
Well, we
mentioned,
wore odd clothes the first couple of
we did
seasons
change our wardrobe
later on.
person.
You know, that's another thing about doing the show is that a lot of the episodes we were noticing when we were watching earlier ones ended up taking place basically in one day. It would, the episode would start in the morning
And would just go
conclude at
through.
night. And one of the reasons was I hated that downtime when the studio audience was there of having to take 15 minutes for everyone to go change into
clothes.
something
Yeah,
else.
I know. I hate wardrobe changes too.
Look at Phil
I think
smoking
we eventually
that
got me a
cigarette.
smaller chair. Because we realized this chair made me look even more dwarfish than I am.
Well, it's your shoulders for the most
Here's the
part.
thing I always thought was odd about this. With Phil smoking,
Yeah.
for some reason, he didn't really look like he knew how to smoke or something. It looks sort of odd the way he smokes. That doesn't
Andy
really...
looked like that kid from the Bazooka comic.
Bazooka Joe.
Yeah, Bazooka Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. This is one where she thinks Joe's gay.
No. She's worried that
Joe saw that.
saw
Oh, that's
that.
right. And then the end, the twist it. Sorry, everybody.
Right.
Okay.
At this
That
point,
he's worried.
Oh,
at this
they've
point
all
in
seen
the
it.
series, Dave and Lisa's relationship was still a secret.
Yeah, except from America. But the people in the office in our fictional world didn't know.
Now,
Actually, NBC kept the relationship secret from America.
that's true.
Yeah, it is really, really a blue suit.
Yeah.
Don't ever wear that again.
No. And this was at the time.
We all had short hair then, too.
And if you notice, there was something in the lighting at this point in the show that made us all look like we had red hair.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Was there...
Yeah.
Was lighting different in the first couple of years? Did that change a
I
lot?
think it was. There was
Well, Greg was... Well, Greg,
Here's the weird, that weird thing. Look at that. There's
Look
actually
at that. I
a
forgot
top
that
to
thing even went over the top.
Yeah. Didn't we have to reshoot this like 3 times or something too for some reason? It was,
No, I think this one I remember going pretty
okay.
You're thinking
smoothly.
of every other episode.
no, right.
This one,
no, we learned our lines for the first couple of years, and then we didn't. but we for the first couple of years, we actually knew them.
boy, that really does look strange. I don't even
Doesn't it?
remember that
Yeah.
header thing.
Well, I
going
think
across
they
the top.
cut it down to like mid-size, and then they finally got rid of it.
Oh
is
yeah,
what I
that was
remember.
gone after
Yeah.
like this episode. I think it
Absolutely.
was
I
the
don't
only
know.
thing that was there was just that thing in the middle, that pole. That was it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, because it cuts off
Yeah.
these stairs
Which
and it
as
cuts
we
off
said,
a
it-
lot of stuff. You
Yeah.
can't even see the booth with it there.
Is this where they set up Bill's smoking area?
And again, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
before
This is funny.
Matthew became a billophile.
An acolyte
Yeah,
of
an
Bill's.
acolyte
Yeah.
of Bill's, right.
This is
Those are great
this is
boots.
n-
though, in
probably
Vic.
not. Early on, also that was supposed to be one of Vicky's or Beth's hooks that she was always chewing gum.
Chewing gum.
Yeah.
I remember this. This was one of the first sort of, not impossible, but a special effects kind of thing that was much broader than I ever thought I would be doing on this show when I first pitched the pilot. But then that kind of thing started amusing me so much that
Well, you had
There was
you had
always-
Phil Hodman to do it.
Yeah.
Who was pretty good. Miss Uncle Phil.
And then eventually we were in a space station.
exactly.
Yes, which I liked.
There just happened to be a ton of newspapers lying all over the place.
Yeah. No, it's those crazy green papers that I always had to look
That's
at.
right.
For no reason whatsoever.
Dave was always looking
Gray,
at.
whatever they were.
To this day, you couldn't tell us what those are.
No, but
No.
I'd be looking at them. I looked at them for 5 years.
They all think that we actually knew something about a radio station when I do interviews.
Oh,
for,
they always
for
say it's
stuff.
so accurate.
It's so accurate now.
Is that true?
Yes,
Yeah.
they say that every time.
And I always have to look around and go, really, where's that big open space with a broadcast booth in the background?
No, I always say we were proudest of the fact that we did absolutely no research for the show.
I did
Yeah.
once before the pilot. I went and they gave me a tour of KNX 1070,
Uh-huh.
and
There's a lot of drab hallways and tiny rooms.
yeah, a lot of tiny rooms, with fluorescent lights, and
Pallid-smelling men.
looked nothing like this.
No.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm flattered. I'm flattered that we put one over on
We
the
did,
radio
on
employees
America.
of
Yeah.
America.
American
America.
people.
Well, every once in a while we'd say, you've got to cart your promos, Bill.
I know.
And then that would be it.
And then Bill
We
would
were
say,
just
"What does that
pretending.
mean?"
We've got to cart your promos for the Pataki interview.
That's right.
Anybody know what that means?
And
subway fire.
There's a subway fire, and there's a traffic tie-up on the Major Deacon Expressway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Always the Major Deacon Expressway.
Put your cart. Do your cart.
This joke,
What?
I remember was a little bit of a problem because he was saying that the fire sprinklers weren't hooked up to anything, and the network
Was Giffy about it?
did not want us to. You know what? I think they did not want us to insinuate that Jimmy was so irresponsible that he would do that.
But
Yeah.
then we threw that whole concept out because I became totally irresponsible later.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of amazed at how, in character everybody kind of was at this point. It was like 2 episodes in.
No,
and-
it
and
wasn't.
everybody was like,
That's what was amazing about the
was
show.
fast.
Everybody was full blown into character.
Yeah,
At the pilot.
By the-
Yeah.
Boom. It was there.
yeah. I mean, you'd think
It
there would be a
felt-
little bit of,
Well, that's because I gotta give. I would say that's good casting on Paul's part.
Yeah.
I would say.
It was true. Right from I remember the first table read feeling really, really comfortable. Right from the
Except for
first-
Ray Romano.
Yeah, poor Ray. Whatever happened to Ray?
We'll get to
I
that.
don't know
We'll-
what happened
We'll be
to him.
doing that commentary a little bit
all
later.
right. We won't talk about
didn't
it.
really work out for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
A single cigarette in your life,
The
and you threw up.
How'd you know?
You seem like the type.
So Dave, having worked in Kids in the Hall and been a sketch and improv performer, was it exciting for you to be working with Phil?
Yeah. Well, I remember when you first told me you were going to try and get Phil to play Bill McNeil. I thought you were crazy. I didn't think he was going to do it. And I was really excited when I heard that you did get him.
Well, Phil wanted to do an ensemble show, right, Paul?
Yeah.
He did. He said he was at the same time being offered a show from someone else where he would be the lead playing the father
Right.
with 2 kids
But
living
somebody else
in
from
Las
Saturday Night
Vegas.
Live had just tanked with the show, and he didn't want to do that.
It was also
Yeah.
he was Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey, I
called
think.
him. He
That's
was
right.
talking to Dana about it, and Dana said, "You know what? It's do an ensemble thing that's
Yeah.
good."
But it was, because I'd actually I'd met Phil like a year earlier at the Emmys, and we'd sat and had a few drinks and talked about how much we'd like to do something together sometime.
I met Dave for the first time at Network, I think.
Yes.
And you were wearing green leather shoes.
Yes, my green leather Doc Martens.
I do remember that very
At
well.
the,
My
at
lucky
the,
green.
Yeah, they
at
were
what,
great.
the network audition.
Yeah, the
when we
network.
did the
test.
You always wore those shoes.
Should we hug?
Oh, we shook hands.
Yeah, you're right. There's probably plenty.
When do you want to start?
5 minutes?
Let's make it 10.
Good idea.
What's this one about? Oh, smoking.
Smoking and coffee.
Okay. All right.
Smoking and coffee. What could be better?
I see. There's
1450
1450 what?
Yeah.
6th?
That's I think it's Broadway. It's
Is
a
it?
little bit south of Times Square.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
right near 42nd or 42nd Street.
It's strangely not become a landmark.
No, I just walked by there the other night though and pointed it out to some friends of mine, but of
They
course
didn't
And
care.
they didn't care.
no, they said, "Well, we've never seen this talk radio show."
We don't know.
It is always called talk radio.
I know.
Anytime it's brought up.
And which is odd, because who thought Eric Bogosian had that big a following?
Well, I guess he does.
You know.
Oh, gosh, no, Bill, please enjoy.
The old Java Jive. Chock full of nuts? They should call it chock full of flavor.
Is this the scene where at the end they yell at Matthew?
For what?
Yes,
we do
I
that all
believe
the
it
time.
is.
So
They scare him, and
That
he
was
runs out of
that
the
was
room.
another scene I remember watching and laughing, and then later thinking, I never thought we were going to do such big things on the show, but I liked it.
Well, you
Here
just
it
come
is.
from
Yeah,
Sanders.
this is it.
God's sake, no one's smoking, okay? But nothing! All we need right here is an anti-whining ordinance. So just sit your sniveling little lip and all your skinny ass!
because it's big but subtle.
It's big but subtle. It's
Very subtle.
I don't know. It's
Funny.
big, but funny. There is. I don't know what the. Sometimes big things seem embarrassing when I see them on shows, but I never
felt that
kind
on
of
this.
cringed.
Yeah.
Because it was always such a modulated thing.
This
it
was big in the
really
right
nice
way.
and small and big and
On my previous
Funny.
commercial failure, The Kids in the Hall,
yes.
we used to talk about subtle over the top.
Right.
Which would be
Right.
like people like Joe Flaherty was a master of,
Oh yeah.
of
Right.
being really
Oh,
subtle
yeah.
while going
Yeah.
hugely over the top.
Right. Why is Maura dressed like Rebecca of Sunnybrook
I don't know,
Farm?
but it's hot.
Man.
It's good.
I like it.
Ties were wide back then too, weren't they?
Oh, this is Well, this was 1977. What do you expect?
This was a long
Yeah.
time ago.
This
That's
was
another
before-
Facts of
jacket.
Life was on.
Look at that. That's another one of those jackets that was like
Yeah, but the Catholic
All over
schoolgirl
the
thing
place.
is terrific.
Dave, are you listening to what Bill is
The
There's the gum again. Yeah.
I have to say the gum kind of aggravated me because it just.
No, her
Wasn't all that
later thing
interesting.
became her dresses and stuff,
Yeah.
which was much better for her character, I think. She
I always love this because Dave's not even listening. That reaction shot we got to him,
Don't
he's like,
listen too closely or you'll fall into a trance.
Oh, come on, Beth. I mean,
What is? Why is a child's juice box the correct
but it's
replacement for
appropriate
coffee?
for this show. It really is.
no idea. The film in the back.
Very, very hard. I remember that.
And you probably shouldn't wear checks anymore, or whatever the hell that jacket is.
well, that was one of the many jackets that had
Look,
been.
that's not a good jacket.
You
No,
look
it
like a
had
salesman
been,
or
it had been
something.
deliberately altered so that it would only fit if I was wearing a padded T-shirt. Because our wardrobe one was obsessed that I should wear a padded T-shirt.
Was that to make you look bigger or
Yeah.
something?
yeah,
or?
or something.
yeah,
for
yeah.
reason.
Income annuities and a related story. Bad news for first-time home buyers who are likely to see a hefty increase.
This is the most irresponsible thing ever on television. Jimmy encourages him to smoke
Yeah.
because he knows it helps his mood. And is very pleased with himself.
Yeah.
Dave, let him smoke all he wants, but tell him to be careful. I don't want this place catching fire.
Yeah, there we go again. The
The
sprinklers.
state's Democratic leadership protested, declaring that some are calling an all-out war.
At least let the man smoke while
I
he's
forgot
on
what the reason. What was the reason?
Catherine, I can't do that.
I like.
What was the reason they couldn't smoke? It
was
was
a
just
city
the building
ordinance.
ordinance.
It was when the
No, but Matthew was complaining, right? Isn't that what it was?
It was a city. It was a new city ordinance, and then Matt. Well, watch the episode.
Watch the
You know,
episode, you'll
buy
know.
buy the DVDs, and
Back
you can
in
watch
the-
the episode.
No, I just
We don't remember that far back.
I thought
Look,
it was
that guy
funny
had
that-
a lot of hair.
What
Look
is
at
that
that
guy
extra-
doing? Taking
Yeah.
attention away from the actors in the foreground.
Well, that's why we eventually
delivering
cut them
something.
out.
Yeah, it's true.
I guess you take it, you put it in your mouth, and yes, like a cigarette.
You're playing with me, aren't you?
He stamps it out of the ashtray.
Emil, I want you to put one of these on your back, okay?
What is it?
Sometimes I think.
Oh, the patches. I remember
Sometimes
that.
I think the whole point of constructing this entire episode was just to put in the one joke that Joe Furey and I seem to like for some reason, which is
was?
the hard cut to the ambulance.
Whole episode built around that.
Yeah, not to give anything away.
Did we do that several times?
Yeah, I think we did. It was always the same,
It was the same
stock
exact
ambulance
piece of
footage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And it was always
Because that was the that was the Looney Bin one. Was that one too, right?
It was like, yeah, don't worry about it. There's no way I'm going to get hurt. Cut to.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you did it with me too when I had the heart attack.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. I did it with
There's 3 times right there.
Oh, here's what are you addicted to?
Vegetable.
No, but my point before was that it was funny that Matthew was the one who caused this, basically, and then he's like, the only reason anyone was doing this was because of him. He was such a
He was a nudge.
Yeah.
yes, he was such a pain in the ass.
Oh, Joe, get ready. We're coming up on
This
your
is-
favorite
here we
joke.
come.
Just tingle all through my arm and chest.
Please, Bill, eat a carrot.
Isn't that one of our regular stand-ins there in the background?
Where?
As an extra, not next to Vicky. Boy,
Well,
this
that's
is
Phil.
Oh.
well, if it is, I hope.
Is that
Candy.
Phil? No.
Oh, no, that's Maura.
She was on the show occasionally.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Same
your
piece of
favorite
footage
shot.
every time.
Every time.
There we go. Well, we might as well stop the tape right now. I've seen what I came to
that's
see.
all I care about, really.
The entire episode was
That and
designed
Dave's
just for
bad
that.
jacket is about the only reason to see it.
I had to pour a little more coffee.
See, doctors are very careful about handing those out. That's why you can't get one without a prescription.
You don't say. Well, thanks very much for all your help.
I remember this guy coming in and he couldn't get the line. He couldn't get the line, and eventually Dave said, "Not so easy, is it?"
Here, let me get this coffee.
He's pouring coffee for all you.
Dave's, how ironic. Dave's actually drinking coffee while watching this episode. Well, there's the gum joke again.
Yeah.
And 1450 in another way.
Yeah. They just kept him overnight for observation, but he's fine.
At least you changed your jacket. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
There.
It's good to be back.
There's that post.
There's the post
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Well, isn't it? When does the whole thing? Doesn't it get filled up with smoke eventually? The
Don't give away.
No?
Don't give away.
I
the
can't.
You're
I've
going to
been seeing
ruin
it
the
for a
end,
while.
sir.
Oh, is that what
You're
it
going
is?
to ruin the. That's what we reshot. We reshot.
Yeah, we
all
shot.
of
We
that.
shot
We
that
had
at
to.
the end.
I knew that we reshot something like
that
3
was-
times.
Yeah, we might
We
as well
shot it
give
again
away.
with Chuck D, right? That's
right.
that's
No,
something else.
no, we
That's
had to.
something else.
We had to fill. We thought it would be an easy thing to fill up that booth with smoke, which is coming up pretty soon.
Don't
But for
tell
some
them.
reason,
so
no. But
easy.
for some reason, it wasn't, and I don't remember why. I
didn't
don't
work.
remember if it was the smoke machine didn't work or if there were holes in the
It
booth.
took a long time to seal up the booth, I think.
Yeah, I don't
was
think
the
that booth even had
took
a
hours.
lid.
I think we
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
had to come
roof.
back a different day and film
We
it
did.
We
again.
did.
another-
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even do it the same day. We shot it on.
Yeah, we had to do it as a pickup
Yeah.
after one other.
Another
Show.
show.
Right.
Yeah.
Considering I haven't had a cigarette in 38 hours, I'm actually kind of enjoying
Oh, we
it.
forgot the
There you go.
that other joke that we always loved was that he made a belt out of the.
Yes.
Out of
Yeah.
the-
Yeah.
Did we
Out
miss
of the
that?
nicotine
Yes,
patches,
we
made a
made
belt
that.
out of it. and
I believe
wore
we
it around
missed
his
that.
waist.
I think
Yeah.
that's why. Yes, he went to that hospital.
This is one of my favorite lines from this season coming up. Just the addition of the word flamboyantly. Wait for it, people.
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
That's the break room. The break room was still not a break room.
Was it still the?
Yeah, look, it has all that
at the movies with a friend who happens to
equipment
be
in there.
flamboyantly gay.
Just to hear Joe say that is so funny.
Yeah.
At this point, we really hadn't. Joe's character wasn't really. He wasn't the conspiracy theorist he turned out to be, nor was he like the super duct tape fix-it gadget guy quite yet.
That was a little bit more low-key.
He had a van, really. That was about it, wasn't it? He had
Did
things
we
in his
ever
van.
even put in references to him having stuff in the van, or was that just something we discussed all the time?
I think
it
once
was
maybe
the
in
writers did, but we never knew it.
I got something in my van.
Yeah, it was a couple of things about that. That was about
We
it.
never paid attention.
Ah, Bill, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Well, he's got the nutty professor hair.
We're failures.
This is another very irresponsible end of the episode.
If you ever tell anyone about Steel Magnolias, I'll kill you.
There's a Jimmy Burrows joke edition.
It would take a robot not to cry at that movie.
I always like that line. That's a good line.
So the lesson is, if you're trying to quit caffeine or tobacco, just don't even bother. Go back to be much happier.
Nobody can do it.
Yeah, there's no point.
Industrial average closed out the day up 9 points with advancing issues outnumbering
Yeah, this is
decliners.
it.
3-2 ratio.
Sounds like Bill's back on his game.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah,
And you're
you'll
happy
notice when they
with
walk out of the room,
Very happy.
something looks different. Oh, yeah.
Long bonds price, which
Hey, Joe.
See, that's the effect we were going
Right.
for.
Oh, have you figured out a way of ventilating it yet?
No. I'll try to think up something over the weekend.
No rush. Good work.
All right, thanks. Take it easy.
We were all very sleepy when we did this little tag.
Yes, I think we were.
Yeah.
But that's all you wanted to see was the flame coming on.
That's really
which
what the
was
joke
great.
was, sure.
Is this one?
What
What happened to the music?
Beat Joe Fury.
There we go.
Yeah, actually, the music is so unmemorable you can't even hear it.
I remember the music.
Really?
I like the music.
Sometime I'll play with you. Play for you the first. Sometime I'll play with you.
Yeah.
Sometime I'll play for you the first 3 versions of the theme song before we got Mike Post.
You're still trying to call it the station at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
I think that was a network.
Good idea.
remember
Good
showing
idea
up-
to change it.
Yeah.
No, we refused.
Do we have to stop now that that's over?
Yeah.